Good evening. We are going to call the April 16th meeting of the Common Council to order. And we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by Alderwoman Ranke. Please rise if you are able and join us in the pledge. Okay, we'll move on to item D. Will be the final roll call of the 2020 to 2024 Common Council.
Alderperson Lysick.
Here.
Grisham. Here. Haas.
Here.
Keen. Here. Reinke. Here. Rote.
Here.
Stefanski.
Here.
Turner.
Here.
Vitale.
He is excused.
8 present, 1 excused.
Okay, we have a quorum. We will move to item E, which before I go into remarks by the outgoing elected officials, I'm going to ask Alderman Stefanski if he could join me. All right, so we have a proclamation for Alderman Stefanski as he concludes his service for the 2nd District. I will just read this briefly. Whereas Alderperson of the 2nd District, Tracy Stefanski, will complete his aldermanic service to the City of West Allis on April 15th, 2024. And whereas prior to joining the city, Tracy devoted time in his professional life to working with disabled youth and honing his skills in business leadership. And whereas Tracy began his service to the city when he was appointed to the West Allis Civil Service Commission in 2018. And whereas following his appointment to the Common Council in 2019, Tracy served nobly as a member of the Public Safety Committee and the Public Works Committee. And whereas while serving on the council, Tracy demonstrated his dedicated support for small businesses, public safety professionals, and honoring veterans for their service to this country. Whereas during his career as 2nd District Alderperson, Tracy worked tirelessly as a strong advocate for the residents in his district, always willing to listen to them and help them with their concerns. And whereas as a longtime resident of the City of West Allis, he displays a strong commitment to the West Allis neighborhoods, its residents, and his businesses, and is a patriotic American with a deep love for his country. Whereas Tracy has graciously dedicated his time to West Allis for several years and has made the city a more developed, advanced, and enriching place to live, work, and visit. Therefore, may it be known that I, Dan Devine, Mayor of the City of West Allis, State of Wisconsin, do hereby proclaim April 16th, 2024 as a day of recognition of Tracy Stefanski in West Allis. And be it further proclaimed that all citizens in West Allis join me in recognizing Tracy's accomplishments, dedication, and contributions to the City of West Allis, and join me in extending to him our best wishes for his next life adventures. And before I turn the microphone over to Tracy, I just have to share that we are going on with our custom of presenting the street signs. I told him this was the easiest one because nothing flows easier than Stefanski Street. It just works. So I can hold that if you want.
Thank you. First of all, I want to say thank you to the council that I worked with in my time on the council, Mayor Devine, and all the city department heads and all the city employees. You guys are great. Let's keep West Allis going great. I want to thank all of my friends, supporters, my lovely wife who's here for supporting me during my time on the council. And I want to say best of luck to everybody and thank you again.
All right, we'll stick with item E on the agenda. Are there any other remarks from outgoing elected officials this evening?
Mayor Devine.
Alderman Lysick.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate you, Mayor Devine, and the incoming council on your successful election. I want to wish you the best I'm sure and confident that the city is going to continue to move forward, both prosperously and in growth. I'd like to thank the staff. Every city employee here does a wonderful job. They're dedicated, they're on duty, many of them Saturdays, Sundays, snowstorms, holidays, so we appreciate the efforts that you put in. I'd also especially like to thank staff here at City Hall for their expertise, their assistance to the council members, and for the information that you provide to the council so that the council can make informed decisions on the items before us. And finally, I'd like to thank my fellow council members for their service to the community and for their cooperation and camaraderie over the last few years. Thank you.
Alderperson Ranky?
Mayor Devine. Last time I'm going to have to say that. Well, this is the day. It kind of reminds me of the bus trips I used to take with my friends. Every morning we'd sing the song, "This is the day," following with, "We will rejoice and be glad in it." But at this point, I'm not sure I'm glad, but still a little sad over leaving. However, I'm certainly thankful for all of our mayors, and I've served under 4 mayors who have shared their vision. And Mayor Dan has a lot of vision for this city. And our city administrators, where we've had 2 fine administrators who planned for the vision of our mayors and our department heads who worked to complete the vision along with the council and taxpayers that made it possible. We've come a long way in the 32 years that I have served on this council. I'm so proud. I thank the people of the 5th District for their support and trust in me, and appreciated the opportunity to serve them as best as I was able. I also want to thank my colleagues on the council, and especially Alderman Haas, and before him, Alderman Singstock. However, I do have a little confession to make, because it cheered my heart when I exceeded them with votes at re-election. With Alderman Haas, though, it was only 1 vote.
Very important vote.
We all respectfully work together for the betterment of our community. Many years ago, I have to say, confess also, that Alderman Murphy, who is now our judge, set the bar high in that regard. We always were expected to keep our mind on the city in the aspect that make us proud members of our council, because people were watching us. I'm pleased to see that we have 5 very qualified women now on the council to carry on my legacy. To date, I am the only woman that has served 32 years on the council. So who knows what's next? I am proud of the accomplishments that we made for our community and can now happily retire, as I know we're in good hands. And now my seat is ready for Marty.
Hey, Mayor Devine.
Alderman
Can I add
Stefanski?
one thing real quick?
Yes.
I want to share a memory that I will cherish for the rest of my life that I got to do while I was an alderman here in West Dallas. On Rosalie's birthday, I got her to mark off something on her bucket list and take her for a ride on my Harley Davidson. So I will never forget that.
Good stuff.
Thank you, Alderman Stefanski. It was the highlight of my life.
Thank you. That must conclude the outgoing remarks, as we don't have anybody else outgoing. So,
Mayor Devine,
Alderman Lysick.
I would move that this council adjourn sine die.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are going to take a 5-minute break. Our council is adjourned. All right, good evening, everybody. We are going to reconvene, and I invite you all to take a look at the new 2024 through 2028 Mayor and Common Council. Welcome. I am going to turn things over now to our municipal judge to say a few words, and then we will administer an oath of office.
Did a little checking, and 40 years ago tomorrow, a young man came into these chambers to take an oath of office and proceeded to serve 19 years on this council. So that young man walked in here as the youngest member of the Common Council, and now he stands here the oldest elected official in West Allis. That's humbling and a little bit sobering, I guess. One of the reasons, I think the longevity of, excuse me, Alderman Leisig, Alderman Reinke, and many who came before them, is that we always stayed focused on the city. It wasn't about national politics, it wasn't about state politics, it was about the city. Mayor Bell, who was a very, very fine mayor, came from a partisan background. But when she became mayor, it was about West Allis. And it didn't matter what one party wanted or what the other party wanted. She was determined to always do what was best for the city. And so I'd encourage all the council members to stay focused on that. That's why you're here, that's why I'm here, that's why the mayor is here. And to keep the faith and the support of the people, you really need to bear that in mind. From the judicial standpoint, you're taking an oath to support the Constitution of the United States and the state of Wisconsin. I would encourage you to refresh your recollection on the First Amendment, because we found something interesting 3 and 4 years ago. How many people were quite willing to give up their First Amendment freedoms? You always have a right to give up your freedom. But we found people demanding that government take away those freedoms from other people. And so when it comes to the free exercise of religion, the freedom of speech, the redress of grievances, the right of assembly, you really need to make sure that those are protected. Even if it is the minority who want those rights. Isn't that ultimately why we're here? To protect the rights of all, popular or unpopular? And so I'd encourage you to bear that in mind, because I certainly sense that there were times when the rights of others perhaps were not taken as seriously as, and it might be a factor of age, where we went to school, how we learned it, but this document should mean a lot to everybody, because if we ever lose this, may God help us. Now, if everyone would please stand, raise your right hands, repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin, and will faithfully discharge the duties of my office to the best of my ability. So help me God. Thank you kindly.
Thank you, Judge Murphy. We will now do the first official roll call of the 2024 through 2028 Common Council.
Alderperson Grisham.
Here.
Grobe.
Here.
Haas.
Here.
Halverson.
Here.
Keen.
Here.
Novak.
Here.
Noling.
Here.
Rote.
Here.
Turner.
Here.
Weigel.
Here.
10 present.
I'm glad somebody told everybody how to use the microphones, because I realized that I didn't tell anybody how to turn them on, so good first step. We'll move on now to item J, which will be the nomination and election of the Common Council President by secret ballot. The ballots will be counted, and the president will be announced by the city clerk. Does anybody wish to make any remarks?
Mayor Devine, are we accepting nominations at this point?
It's not a full nomination process, but you can speak on behalf of people, or
Well, I'd like to speak on behalf of Alderperson Haas to my left here. If it was a formal nomination, I'd be nominating Alderperson Haas to be the council president.
okay.
Second.
It's not a formal nomination, though, but now
I knew that.
it now has an informal second as well. So we do have ballots, I believe, are in front of you. And if you just want to mark one name and pass it to the middle, and they will be tallied by the clerk. That's not a good start, Alderman Haas. That's okay.
Ten votes for Alderman Haas.
All right. Congratulations, Alderman Haas. We will now move on to remarks by me and our new Common Council President. So should I go first?
You know, Mayor, if I may, just since we're on the subject.
Sure.
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
Because I'll be so quick. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate your thoughts, and I'm just happy to serve. I have no plan or agenda, and I will continue to pray for the mayor's good health.
Thanks, Alderman Haas, President Haas. Got to get used to that. I just have a few remarks I'd like to make before we continue. Once again, I want to thank our outgoing alder people, Lysick, Reinke, Stefanski, and Vitale, for their years of service. It goes without saying that the positive impact that they have had on this community will be seen for generations. Next, I want to thank my wife Renee and my family for their support, tolerating me being gone so many evenings for this job, and most recently for the campaign. So lucky and so appreciative to have our little four in my life. And even though our son is at basketball practice and our daughter is away at college, I can tell you my daughter was very excited to be able to sign my nomination papers for the first time and also vote for me. And we had to go through the mail-in ballot from campus process. I want to thank the voters in West Dallas for putting their trust in me for another term. And this extends to everybody who helped distribute literature or put up a yard sign or contribute. We ran a positive campaign that was based on the issues and based on the future vision for this community, and the results speak for themselves. I want to send a quick message to all the members of the incoming Common Council. Thank you for running. Seriously, it takes a lot to step up, run a campaign, and put yourself out there to the scrutiny and the critique and the compliments and the good and bad that comes with this job. There's always a sentiment out there of why more good people don't run for office. And I'm very glad to see that we had a slew of very good candidates this time, which is very encouraging for our community. And to our new council members, Alderwoman Grobe, Alderman Halverson, Alderwoman Noling, and Alderwoman Novak, I've told this to everybody, but I feel that part of my job is to make your job easier. So I am here to help. I believe I can confidently speak for the rest of the Common Council that we are all here to help. It'll be a steep learning curve, but we are a team, and we are a team that will have disagreements. We will have debate. There will be laughter and inevitably some frustrations. But when we walk out those glass doors, always remember that everybody is acting the way they are because they genuinely feel that they are doing the best job they can to represent their districts. And I wanted to throw a quote out from Martin Luther King that we all came in on different ships, but right now we're all in the same boat. I want to speak to our residents and tell them that we are going to do everything we can to make them love living in this city. I want to urge them to get involved. Don't just read about our neighborhood associations, get involved in one or start one. If there's something you don't like happening in your neighborhood, give us a chance to fix it. Don't post it on Nextdoor. Don't post it on Facebook. We got 11 people here that are on our phones and emails on weekends, evenings, mornings. We're here for you. Don't get your community news from social media. Contact us because you'll get timely and accurate information. And lastly, I want to just send a message to our most important people, and that is our employees. As we gather here tonight, the city outside these walls is alive, and there is no square foot of the city that is not impacted by the great work that our employees do. People are driving on the streets, putting out their garbage for the next day, eating in our restaurants, walking in our parks, and shopping in our stores. The police are on patrol, the paramedics are responding to calls, the dispatchers are ready to take those calls, and I just want to express, I can't express this enough, my gratitude for the work that every employee for the city of West Allis does. I just want to take a moment to say thank you, and I'd like to give everyone that works for us a round of applause, please. So I'm very excited about the next 4 years, and we can never forget that local government is where things get done. Similar to what the judge said, we do not have time to be ideological or partisan. We are held accountable every day for consistently delivering the services that people in West Allis have come to expect. So I'm very excited about the continued positive changes that are going to be coming to this community. And I thank you all again, and I'm very much looking forward to the next 4 years. Thank you. Does anybody from the council wish to make any types of remarks? Feel free to turn on your mics and grab my attention.
Mayor Devine?
Alderperson Grisham.
Thank you for the wonderful speech, for one. I, too, want to thank my family, my daughters, Haley and Stephanie, and my son, Brennan, and my fella out in the audience there, who is very supportive. But moreover, I want to thank all of the constituents that voted for me. I am looking so forward to working with this new council, and I can't wait to put the vision of the city forward. So thank you all again.
Anybody else?
Mayor Devine?
Alderman Weigel.
I just wanted, in case anybody missed the last couple of meetings and they're wondering why I'm sitting over here now, and I want to reference Judge Murphy also. When Judge Murphy moved, so 21 years ago when Paul moved up to being municipal judge, I had the good fortune of landing in his seat over there representing the 2nd District, where I was for 20 years. And it was really only when my wife and I sold our home on 74th and Greenfield and closed our business and sold, then we moved to the west side of West Allis, that I saw that there was an opportunity to use my 20 years of experience on the council to help serve the city of West Allis in the 5th District. And I just want to say that I was very honored to sit in Paul Murphy's seat, and I'm very honored to sit now in former Alderperson Rosalie Reinke's seat. And I want to thank both of them for their work that they've given the community over the years and the examples that they've set, both of them, for us. And I hope I can continue doing justice to both of them. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor Devine?
Alderwoman, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, you're
I
good.
just want to say thank you first to my husband, RJ, This was certainly an endeavor, doing a first campaign. To my family, both those here and those watching online, to my friends that have become family, those of you cheering me on, I can't tell you how much that meant. And finally, to the District 2 voters for putting your trust in me. It means the world, and I am excited for us to serve the next 4 years together. I know Mayor Dan just said, hey, don't get your news from social media. You can get your news from social media from me. Alderwoman Marissa Noling, you came to know and love my Facebook posts during the campaign. More of that good stuff to come. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments from the alderpersons?
Mayor Devine.
Alderwoman Keene.
Again, thank you for all the support. My husband, all the voters that came out to vote for us. I just really wanted to share the sentiment that's probably been said time and time again, that we might not always agree on the topics, we might not always vote the same way, but it's very important that when we're off the dais that we shake hands and we stay courteous and polite and respectful to one another's views. It might not be your view, but it might be someone else's out there in the city. So let's just keep that in mind, and I'm looking forward to working with everyone the next 4 years.
All right.
Mayor Devine?
Yes.
Just like everybody else, I want to say thank you. I want to thank my family, my kids and my husband. They helped me a ton. I have friends and family here tonight, and thank you all for helping with this campaign. It was a lot. It was busy. We did a ton, but I'm very thankful to be sitting here and getting to work with all these people. And I hope that we can try to fill the shoes of all the experience that left to council, because that was a lot. So I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other remarks?
Mayor Devine,
Alderman Halverson.
I'm going to keep the thank you train going. Can I thank my wife? She, allowed me to do this crazy thing, to make a dream of mine come true. My kid, she's amazing. My parents are here tonight. I want to thank them. The residents of D2, thank you for trusting me and Marissa. And thank you to all the city employees tonight coming up and introducing yourself. It really feels good to feel welcomed, and you're kind of thrown into this fishbowl here and expected to legislate. So it's nice to just kind of ease into it, and there's friends around here, so that feels good. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. Any other remarks?
Mayor Devine?
Alderman Turner.
Okay, I just want to thank everyone as well, but I also want to let our new alderpersons know that people are here to help. I was the newest person on this board, but a few days after I was put in place, Alderman Weigel called me up, asked me if I needed any help. A few days later, Alderman Haas, he did the same. After a decision I made, Alderman Lasik told me I messed up. But the thing about it is that people came and helped. So all the aldermen even though people are new here, we do have help from other people as well as the mayor. So please feel free to reach out, and we'll be glad to help as much as we can. Thank you.
You have some seniority now.
I know.
Any other remarks this evening?
Mayor Devine, I'll just continue as well with the thanks train to my family, everybody in District 1, all the people who I guess pushed me to participate and encouraged me, other business owners, my neighborhood, even my alderman here to my left helping to encourage me to take this step and serve our city. I'm really looking forward to it. And as Ray just said, so many of the council members have already reached out to me and made me feel so welcome, and that's invaluable, and I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Are there any other remarks? All right. That will conclude Section L, and we will go to Section M. The Common Council Standing Committee appointments are in front of all of you. I won't read through them all, but I'll just tell you that the chair people will be, Administration Committee will be chaired by Alderman Weigel, and Vice Chair will be Alderwoman Noling. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought they were in front of you. Stand by. They are being handed out as we speak. Uncomfortable pause. Sorry about that. I thought you said when you'd put them up here, you meant on all the seats, not just yours. And so, administration will be chaired by Alderman Weigel, and Alderwoman Knowling will be the vice chair. Economic Development Committee will be chaired by Alderwoman Keene, and Alderwoman Grobe will be the vice chair. Public Works will be chaired by Alderman Rote, and Alderman Turner will remain vice chair. And Public Safety will be chaired by Alderwoman Grisham, and the vice chair will be Alderman Halverson. Moving on to item N, we have one public hearing this evening, and I will ask the clerk to read out the public hearing.
Resolution to confirm and adopt the report of the city engineer containing the schedule of proposed assessments for improvement of various streets by concrete reconstruction.
I'll turn it over to staff.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening. My name is Melinda Dieskey, and I am the city engineer for the city of West Allis. With me tonight is Rob Hutter, who is the assistant city engineer for the city, and we're here to talk about the streets some streets we're going to repave this year. South 77th Street from West Pierce to West Walker, West Pierce Street from South 77th to South 76th Street, and then the alley between South 84th and South 85th Streets, West Lincoln Avenue, and West Grant Street. So tonight we're going to talk about the project scopes for each street and the costs that are associated with those, the assessment rates and payment methods that go along with those projects. We will take questions from the Common Council and the different citizens affected. The public hearing then gets closed. The Board of Public Works takes up the matter, makes a recommendation back to the full Common Council, and the full Common Council takes action at the end of after the recess meetings. So how were these roads chosen for the 2024 program? So the city is required every 2 years to go and drive every single street in the city and give it a rating from 1 to 10, with 1 being the worst and 10 being the best. Since 2010, the share of the roads that are in excellent condition statewide have fallen by almost 10%. On the other side, the roads that are in poor condition statewide have increased by 2.7%. So the roads are declining faster, pretty fast. In West Allis, 1/5 of our roads are in this very poor category, and South 77th Street is rated a 2, and West Pierce Street is rated a 3. And if we did rate alleys, which we don't, but if we did, it would be a 3. It's in not good condition. These are some examples of what we look for when we're rating our roads: the severe alligator cracking, the rutting you can see in the one picture on the right. So these are just good roads that are not in good shape. Other things that we look for, we consider what's underground. The sewer mains, the water mains, the storm sewer, what's the age and the condition of that infrastructure. So in Pierce and 77th Street, we have a water main that is between 90 and 100 years old. When we replace those, we replace the water main with either ductile iron or PVC pipe, but we also replace the water laterals in the right-of-way with copper or HDPE, and then we offer an opportunity for residents that if they had a lead service lateral, they could replace it at around the same time, so that you get a complete new lateral, but that lead pipe replacement currently is on a voluntary basis. We also looked at the storm sewer, and it is almost 90 years old, so we will be replacing that with either PVC or concrete pipe. Moving on to the cost of the projects, West Pierce Street is estimated at $253,000. Now Pierce Street is shared. The dividing line is down the center, so half of that, this cost is half of the cost. The other half of the cost will be picked up by City of Milwaukee. We already have an intermunicipal agreement, and Milwaukee has agreed to pay their share of the cost. 77th Street is estimated at $551,000, and State Fair Park is part of the special assessment process. They did receive a notice of special assessment, so they were included in that. And then the alley is estimated at $115,000. And Central High School, so the school district did get an assessment for this project as well. So you can see in the funding of the program, only $79,000 of the total project costs is from special assessments. $358,000 is from property taxes, $297,000 is from the water utility, and $185,000 is from our stormwater utility. When we talk about special assessments, this is a sample of how we calculate that. If an average lot was 55 feet along the front foot that faces the street, this rate that we charge per lineal foot is $68.31. So that property owner's cost would be $3,757.05. In addition, the approach, the part between the sidewalk and the street for everybody's driveway that would have a driveway on the street would be, that part is replaced, and it would be charged at $8.53 per square foot. So the final bill for that, everybody received an estimate. The final bill won't be mailed out until March of '25, till we're basically done with constructing the project. There are payment options available to residents. It's a 5-year or 10-year installment plan. So we give an example of some payments here. If you were on the 10-year plan and the city charges a 4% interest, your first year, your payment would be $506, and then your 10th year would be $376. Please note that the interest rate that the city charges is just to cover the cost of the city has for borrowing the money to do these projects. The city does not make a profit on that interest rate. A little bit about the special assessment process. For over 110 years, the city of West Allis has used this special assessment process to pay a portion of new streets because each property that abuts that has a benefit from a new street. On this group of projects, the cost of $79,000 in special assessments is less than 9% of the total project cost. Again, the assessment rate is $68.31, and that's for every residential property across the city, so everybody's is charged the same rate. And then lastly, the special assessment process has been upheld by many courts throughout the state, and it has been a proven methodology to cover some of the costs of the projects. The other benefit is tax-exempt properties such as schools, churches, State Fair Park, school districts also have to pay their fair share. They don't pay property tax, but by the special assessment method, they do pay their portion of the road costs that they use and their people that visit them use. So also businesses and corporations and manufacturers pay a rate that's higher than the residential rate of $85.38 up to $102.46. So everybody's contributing their fair share. The schedule for this project, if the project moves forward, then we'll bid out the project. We would anticipate bids coming back in May, and then we would bring the contract back for council approval. And then if that moves forward, we would then expect construction to start after 4th of July and continue through October. And all property owners are mailed a notice through the mail. The other thing that we have is we have a construction in progress report. You can sign up on the city website to get those notices. We update those once a week, generally on Thursdays or Fridays, so that everybody can be updated on the progress of the project, upcoming important information, and just keep everybody informed as to how things are moving along. And with that, we conclude our presentation.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions from the members of the Common Council?
Mayor Devine?
Alderman Weigel.
I just had one question. Which rate did the Fair Park pay, the commercial or the industrial?
My understanding is, if I remember correctly, I'm not going to.
I'm just curious.
I will get back to you.
Okay, that's
I don't
fine.
want to speak out of turn.
I'm just curious because,
I can get back to you.
yeah, because people should understand that residents pay the lower of the 3 rates that we charge depending on the use.
Yes,
And
yes.
I saw
I know there's been some special agreements made, and I don't want to speak out of turn.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions from the council? Seeing none, are there any questions from the members of the audience? All right. Seeing none, then we will close our public hearing. Thank you for the presentation. And we will move on to item O, which is our public participation section. The council can receive information from members of the public during this 30-minute period. Each speaker must announce their name and address and sign in at the podium. We ask that you limit your comments to one statement of no more than 5 minutes and recognize that the council may not take action on topics raised by the speakers. Does anybody wish to address the council under public participation this evening? All right, seeing none, we will close public participation and move on to item P, announcing our recess meetings. They will be, both sets of committees will be held here in the council chambers as we get to recess. Moving on to item Q, approval of the minutes from our previous meeting.
Mayor Devine.
President Haas.
I move for approval of the March 19, 2024 Common Council minutes.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any corrections or changes to the minutes? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The minutes are approved. Moving to item R, we have no standing committee reports, so we will go right to item S.
Mayor Devine.
Consent agenda, Alderman Haas.
Are there any alderpersons who wish to have separate action on the items in our consent agenda, item S? Seeing none, I move for approval of the consent agenda.
Second.
Say a motion and a second. If there's no discussion, I will ask the clerk to call the roll.
Alderperson Grisham.
Aye.
Grobe.
Aye.
Haas.
Aye.
Halverson.
Aye.
Keen. Aye. Novak.
Aye.
Noling.
Aye.
Rote.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
10 in favor, 0 opposed.
Motion carries. Yeah, we don't want to call a special election so soon, Alderman Weigel, so pull it together over there. We'll move on to item T, council recess.
Mayor Devine.
Alderman Haas.
I move that we stand in recess until the conclusion of our committee meetings.
Second.
All right, we have a motion, we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are in recess.
Mayor Devine? Yes. I'm calling the Administration Committee into order. Correct? Okay. Item number 8 for the Administration Committee is an update from the Assessor's Office on the 2024 citywide reevaluation, and this is for discussion purposes only.
Good evening. Thank you, Alderman Weigel. My name is Jason Williams. I'm the City Assessor, and tonight's presentation is very short. I've only got 3 slides. This update and presentation is just to let the new the elected officials know about what's coming up in the next few days. The City of West Dallas has conducted what's called a revaluation. So the assessor's office values all the property in the city, and then periodically we'll go through an undertaking to revalue all the properties. When that happens, we generate a letter and we send a notice to all the property owners announcing their new value. And then from that point, there's an appeal process where citizens can come to City Hall, meet with the assessor's staff, and talk about their value or anything about their property. And that's going to be held on May 6th through May 10th. After that is a more formal appeal that's held at Board of Review. That's a quasi-judicial board where people go to appeal their value, present evidence, and then a decision is made. So the notices are going to be sent out this Friday. They should be hitting mailboxes likely. If you look at past mailings, you might start seeing them hit the mailboxes on Saturday, certainly on Monday. There's a communication public messaging plan that is going to be implemented starting Friday. That's going to start with posts on social media, including Nextdoor, Facebook, city's website. There's going to be an e-newsletter. And then before Open Book, there'll be another push of public messaging to remind people of Open Book. And then before Board of Review in May, another public messaging campaign. Tonight's, actually I should probably move on and forgot to advance this. This is a timeline of what to expect. The work for this was started last summer, completed earlier this year. Values are as of January 1st. And so you may wonder, why do I get a tax bill in December for a value from January 1st? It's designed that way so that you tell the property owner what their value is before the budget, before the tax bill, and it gives them time to appeal the value. This Friday are the notices. There's the open book dates of May 6th to May 10th, followed by Board of Review. And then, of course, tax bills in December. Next Tuesday, I'm going to come back to council and give a much longer, more detailed presentation with a big PowerPoint to kind of walk everyone through what a revaluation is, what kind of impact it will have on the city. Tonight was more of, hi, I'm your assessor. There's a bunch of letters going out this Friday. A little less than 20,000 notices will be going out. So if you get any questions from your constituents, certainly get a hold of me. I'll try to help, give answers, talk to the property owners, go from there. So until next Tuesday, that's all I have for the council tonight.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there any questions from the members of the administration committee on this for right now? Are there any questions from other members of the council on this? Okay, well, thanks for the update, and we're looking forward to the deep dive next Tuesday.
Okay, thank you.
Nothing further to come before the administration committee. I'm going to adjourn the, do we need a motion to adjourn? Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Administration committee is adjourned.
Call Public Works to order. We'll start with item 9, Resolution 2024-0172, resolution to confirm and adopt the report of the city engineer containing the schedule of proposed assessments for improvements of various streets by concrete reconstruction.
Move to approve?
It's been moved. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and second. Is there any discussion?
Alderman
Wrote?
yeah, thank you.
Yes, thank you. Yes, it still is.
Guy
We
down
didn't change
there.
that, did we?
Sorry, Dan. Yeah. So I do have one question, and as far as the scope, these are the 2024 projects. We have other 2024 projects, more than just those two streets and street and alley.
There'll be one more public hearing for 118th Street. We've done public hearings earlier in the year, so we were already.
Yeah.
86 and 89, so. I have a loud voice, I thought everybody could hear me. So we've had other projects. 86 and 89th, we're gonna start construction actually in a couple weeks. Sidewalk project, our citywide sidewalk project is getting ready to start in a couple weeks. Rogers, we just awarded the contract, so we're getting that all put together. And then we'll have one more, 118th Street, we'll have another public hearing in May, so.
Yeah, thank you for refreshing my memory.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 10, Resolution 2024-0171, final resolution authorizing public improvement of concrete construction, concrete reconstruction, and/or asphalt resurfacing in various locations and levying special assessments against benefited properties.
Move to approve?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 11, Resolution 2024-0173, resolution to approve bid of Lalonde Contractors Incorporated for street construction in West Rogers Street from South 76th Street to South 84th Street in the city of West Allis in the amount of $2,062,000, $478.40.
Move to approve?
It's been moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And final is item 12, Resolution 2024-0174, resolution to approve an agreement with the Union Pacific Railroad to close and remove the at-grade public road crossing for South 55th Street.
Move to approve?
It's been moved. Second. We have to have a committee. Oh, okay, I just heard a voice coming from there. Okay. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Motion to adjourn?
carries. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? No. Motion carries. We're adjourned.
All right, the Economic Development Committee will now come to order. Please note that all committee members are present. All right, number 13, resolution approving a certified survey map to combine the existing parcels at 5520 West Lincoln Avenue and 55 West Lincoln Avenue into one parcel.
Move to approve.
Second. Are there any discussion? I see Patrick, are you here for this one?
Next one.
Okay. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, item number 14, discussion relative to the sale of 6400 West Greenfield Avenue and 1351 South 64th Street for a proposed development by JJ H3 Group.
Alderperson Keaton. I'm Patrick Schloss, Economic Development Executive Director. Tonight I'm asking the council for some just direction, seeing what your position is on the sale of a piece of land that is located on the corner of 64th and Greenfield and a parking lot adjacent to it. The reason I'm showing the former Crawdaddy's restaurant, this is a property that the CDA purchased. It is located at 6414-22 West Greenfield Avenue. And they also bought the former Spotlight Lounge at 6424 West Greenfield Avenue. The city owns the public space that's on the corner of 64th and Greenfield Avenue and the abutting parking lot that is located just to the north or to the rear of that parcel. The idea here is to accommodate a larger redevelopment of the block. And the CDA is interested, has entered into a letter of intent with a developer, Jeff Hook, who is here tonight, to do a kind of a larger scale development. There'd be 8 townhomes and then an apartment building. But in exchange for this layout, you can kind of see the site plan here, the public space that's currently on 64th and Greenfield is located in this general area, will be exchanged for land in this area for a new public space that the developer will deed back to the city and also maintain, landscape, remove the snow, etc. The idea here is that there will be a new apartment building that will have a commercial space on the lower level along Greenfield Avenue, and then have a patio that could utilize the western elevation, and then therefore program the park a little bit more than we currently do at 64th. So this is around 80% of the same size space, but this would accommodate the development. The parking lot then would support the commercial space and the tenants in the apartment building. The parking lot is located north of the former Crawdaddy's, which is in this general area, is owned by the CDA, and then this would also be customer parking or adjacent overflow parking for the development. To see what this would look like rendered, this is without the trees, et cetera, in this area. The discussion of a future TIF would be on a future agenda, but tonight I wanted to show this because the developer is interested in going to Plan Commission and wants to represent that, you know, they could accommodate all this land in the proposal to the Common Council and to Plan Commission. So tonight I wanted to see what your position was. What do you feel like this is something that the council would be interested in? And then we would go through the formal process of sale of the land with an offer from the developer, and then together with actions taken to the CDA. Welcome any thoughts or comments.
Any discussion?
Madam Chair? I'd like to commend Department of Development. I think this is exactly the kind of use that we wanted to see for this property, high quality residential with a small amount of commercial. I understand the need to flip it around for the daylight and the western exposure on that. I would fully support this. I would also ask about the parking though. Is the residential tenant parking underground, and so that parking lot on the north, is that going to be kind of public-y or public use, or?
So the apartment building does not have underground parking, but the townhomes will have a garage and then a parking space located behind it.
Okay, so how many parking spaces would be there for the public to use to access other stuff in the neighborhood? Not that I'm a big fan of public parking, but.
It'd be majority of this parking in this particular area here, so.
Okay, thanks.
Around
I understand that.
8 stalls.
That'll go to Plan Commission.
There's also a public parking lot located just to
Across the street. Yeah.
east of this site.
Okay. Thank you.
Madam
Any
Chairwoman.
Yes.
Yeah, and I would echo, I think, what was shared at the Community Development Authority meetings, how I like the idea of townhomes rather than large apartment buildings that are in this plan. And townhomes, I think, it makes for a nice change, a nice difference compared to some of the other larger buildings on that block. And I'm in favor of it. Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Alderwoman Novak?
Just one quick question. Do they know about how many commercial spaces they're looking to put in there?
There'll be, I think it's around 2,500 square feet of commercial space, just one space.
Okay.
All right, any other discussion? All right, so I think the committee's in favor with moving forward as proposed by staff.
Thank you.
All right, is there anything else to come before the Economic Development Committee?
Motion to adjourn.
We are adjourned. Okay.
I'll move her second. Yeah.
All right, we're calling Public Safety Committee to order. Let the record reflect all 5 members are present. We'll start with item 15, Class B Tavern Temporary Premise Extension and Temporary Public Entertainment Premise Request for Studs Pub, 6833 West National Avenue for a one-day event, St. Jude's fundraiser on June 8th, 2024, from noon to 4 p.m. with a DJ, and the agent is Dean Radis. Was Dean asked to come this evening?
Madam Chair.
Go ahead, Rebecca.
None of the applicants were asked to come because
Okay.
these normally would just be on
Exactly,
the consent
and that's what I
agenda.
figured, because this is an annual event that Dean has. I have no questions, to be honest with you. He does this event every year, so is there any discussion from any of the committee members?
I move approval.
Okay, there's approval. Is there a second? Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, item 16, 2024-0195, change of agent for a Class B beer, Class C wine license for Flower, Girl, and Flame at 8121 West National Avenue. New agent, Dana Spandit.
I move approval.
Second.
There's a motion for approval and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Item 17, 2024-0205, change of agent for Class B liquor license for The Gauge at 1139 South 70th Street. New agent Christina Timber.
I move approval.
There's a motion for approval and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Do we have a motion for adjournment?
I move we adjourn.
Second?
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. And that's how we do it. Yeah. What is it? We should ask. You want to ask after or on the record? Right. We'll see if Kevin says it. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't.
All right. We will call the full common council back to order, and I will ask the clerk to call the roll.
Alderperson Grisham.
Here.
Grobe.
Here.
Haas.
Here.
Halverson.
Here.
Keen.
Here.
Novak.
Here.
Noling.
Here.
Rote.
Now it's my turn. Here. That's twice tonight.
Turner.
Here.
Weigel.
Here.
10 present.
Mayor Devine.
We have a quorum. We will begin with the Public Works Committee. Oh, Alderman Haas, I'm sorry, I jumped your committee. No, your former committee.
Yeah, I forgot how things go.
I did too. Well, that's good, because I totally jumped over Alderman Weigel, so we're going to stumble along in this new format. All right, let's begin with the first committee listed, which is the Administration Committee, and I will ask the clerk to read out that one item. Is that an action item, or is it?
There is no item to read out.
Okay, so I was right. All right. The Public Works Committee, I will ask the clerk to read out the report from Public Works.
The Public Works Committee.
Oh, get your mic on, please.
The Public Works Committee recommended adoption of items 9 through 12.
Alderman Rote.
I move in accordance with the committee report, Mayor Devine.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I will ask the clerk to call the roll.
Alderperson Grisham.
Aye.
Grobe.
Aye.
Haas.
Aye.
Halverson.
Aye.
Keen.
Aye.
Novak.
Aye.
Noling.
Aye.
Rote.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
10 in favor, 0 opposed.
Motion carries. Thank you. Then we will go on to the Economic Development Committee, and I will ask the clerk to read out that report.
The Economic Development Committee recommended adoption of item number 13.
Mayor Devine, I move for approval of the committee report.
Thank you. Is there any discussion on item 13? If not, I will ask the clerk to call the roll.
Alderperson Grisham.
Aye.
Grobe.
Aye.
Haas.
Aye.
Halverson.
Aye.
Keen.
Aye.
Novak.
Aye.
Noling.
Aye.
Rote.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
10 in favor, 0 opposed.
Motion carries. Now we will go to the Public Safety Committee, and I will ask the clerk to read out that report.
The Public Safety Committee recommended granting for items 15 through 17.
Mayor Devine, I move for approval of the Public Safety Committee report.
Thank you, Alderwoman Grisham. And just for the new folks, I just wanted to mention that this is just going to be a voice vote, because if it's an ordinance or a resolution, it's a roll call vote. But for something like just licenses or things like this, it can be just a voice vote. So that's why that's different. So if there is no other discussion, all in favor on the Public Safety Committee report, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The ayes have it, and the motion carries.
Mayor Devine.
Alderman Haas.
I move that we adjourn until our next special council meeting, Tuesday, April 23rd at 6 p.m.
Second, but I had a question.
It's
Go
really
ahead.
at 7.
Okay, so there's the orientation piece at 5:30, and then then the meeting is at 7?
Yes, sorry. It should say 7 o'clock.
So strike what I said to 7 p.m., not 6 p.m.
Way to make it smooth for him.
Still second
Had
that?
to be a
Still
hiccup.
second it.
Okay. Any other discussion? All right, all in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? We are adjourned from our first official meeting.